What's up everyone, this is K Collections. You thought Gacha Hell has ended? Well, think again. Yet another most sought after servant of 2020, Summer BB, will be out Summer 3, Banner 2. So I hope you didn't kill your wallets too badly for Scotty. BB offers a very unique skill, many consider broken upon release. I'll break down her stats, skills, give some CE and team recommendations to see if she really lives up to the hype. So let's take a look at FGO's second best kouhai, cause MASH will forever and always be number one. Starting with her stats, BB has really low attack. Currently on JP, she is towards the lower half in comparison to all the other 5 stars, just a bit lower than Saber or Toria. HP is relatively high, higher than Mordred. For her NP gains, it's pretty good, generating around 33% with an Artsquake Arts Brave. Her Buster has high hits as well, so NP gains when given bonus will be above average when compared to the other servants. Star gens are decent because her passive will add an additional 2 stars. A Buster Quick will give you roughly 15 to 18 stars, passive not being factored in, so around 17 to 20 stars if you add in her star regen. BB skills are overall simply amazing. Now, I'm not saying she's a perfect servant, but the synergy, tactics, combos you can perform thanks to her skills are unbelievable. Self-modification is a skill we've seen plenty of times. A crit damage buff combined with a star absorption effect is a crit servant's dream. At max level, BB will have a gather rate of 468, far exceeding Riders. This ability does have a short cooldown, which is good since BB without this skill will have a gather rate comparable to casters. Now her second skill, my god, it's like someone gave a pitch saying BB needs some good effects, only for DW to say yes, and then just shove them all into one freaking skill. I mean, this skill is overkill with good effects, and there's no demerits or downsides. Only downside is the long cooldown, and it ain't even that bad, especially for what you're getting. A 50% NP battery making her Noble Phantasm basically easy to access. On top of that, an NP damage buff and a Buster buff, both lasting 3 turns, allowing you to sustain that increased damage if you can spam her NP, and oh man, trust me you can. It doesn't end there, cause her skill also helps with survivability, giving her both a 3k healing, which will offset a hit or 2, and a 1-hit evasion. You'll most likely sacrifice these effects in favor on the offensive nature of this skill, which will require you to use support to survive NP attacks. I guess that's the only real downside, if you can even call it that. Keep in mind, the evade is for 1 attack, so if you're lucky, she'll hold on to it. Another disadvantage would be you not using this if her NP is already charged, meaning her NP damage won't be buffed because you don't want to waste a 50% charge. But honestly, that's just nitpicking at this point. The skill is near perfect. Faceless Moon, the skill player said, broke the game. Basically, it locks your normal command cards for a few turns. It's an impressive skill, a phenomenal one, but it's not broken to the point where your life playing FGO will become easy. Yes, this skill enables you to perform broken ass combos, however by itself it isn't broken. There are multiple factors that influences how effective this card lock can be. For one, the randomized deck. You won't always get the cards you need. Secondly, you need the right servants to pull off these insane combinations, servants you may not have. And finally, this isn't really a huge deal because you'll make preparations, but once you're locked, you're stuck with it until 3 turns, someone dies, you switch out, or you card shuffle. Being locked can backfire at times. For example, let's say you lock BB's Brave Chain. That means the other 2 servants will more often than not just sit there. Besides activating their skills, they're unable to effectively charge NP or generate stars through attacks, which means team building is really important. These are some things you have to consider, especially on challenge quests. There's thought process that is required. This isn't a skill that you can just use anytime, anywhere, but let me be clear, these factors do not ruin this skill, more so inconveniences you'll encounter. When done correctly, which most players will, like I said, it can lead into insane combos. It's great to have fun with and excellent for memes. The 2030 effect is also phenomenal. Level her skills 231 or 213 if she's her main DD. She has a shitload of passives as well, some good debuff resistance, burn immunity, an amazing arts boost, and a very mini 2030 effect. Her Noble Phantasm is an AoE which can reduce charge by 1 or 2 if you're lucky. BB can spam her NP because her skills are so synergistic. If you can lock her 2 arts, use her crit skill to absorb the stars so she can use them to charge her NP faster. As a reminder, her 3rd skill also provides 10 stars that can feed into her 1st skill, and let's not forget her 2nd skill with all the damage buffs lasting 3 turns. For CE recommendations, there are a lot of choices. You can boost her crit to end Buster, which is her main way to deal damage, Aerial Drive, which is an advanced CE, hopefully is max limit broken, in which case BB can instantly use her NP. Her NP damage is pretty low. Cute Orange Jet will help with NP gains so she can spam her attack at a faster rate while increasing its damage. Her NP and crit are her main methods to deal high damage, so Supper is a solid choice, also allowing her to turn 1 NP. BB can be a strong star generator, even without attacking. With 2030 and her skills, she can create 20 stars. This is a great supportive function, especially if you lock your main crit servant's cards for them to constantly deal crit damage with the stars BB provides. Sweet Days is for BB if she is the main damage dealer. You'll typically lock her arts and Buster in place. The arts boost will help with NP gains while Buster is for damage. This should be max limit broken, so BB can create 16 stars every turn for herself. BB is a Buster crit attacker, making Merlin an obvious choice. Her NP attack also lacks damage, so she needs as much damage buffs you can provide. The real big numbers will come from her Buster crits, something Merlin can also provide. One of the best craft essence to equip with your supporters would be 2030, so you can constantly provide stars for BB to use. If she is your main damage dealer, then you'll lock her own cards and use her 1st skill to deal crit damage. 2030s combined with her 3rd skill will guarantee you 100% crit damage for 3 attacks for a few turns. Same setup for Waver. Use 2030 to provide constant flow of stars for her to use. The best combination would be using a Waver and Merlin together. A double Merlin setup will give you the highest damage output, while a double Waver setup will offer the fastest NP charging, but mixing the two is a good balance of damage and speed. One of the best consistent star regen servants is Anderson. 2030 with this skill will give 23 stars just by himself. Add another servant with 2030, that's 30 stars. 42 stars when using BB's skill. And it's the same method, lock 3 of her own attacks and it'll be constant crits. Now what makes BB's lock ability so amazing is that you can throw her into any team really. Arts, Quick, Buster, it doesn't really matter. Use her lock skill to provide support. An example would be locking Hokusai's arts for her to constantly debuff defense for 3 turns. Or lock Sherlock's 2 arts, have him as the damage dealer since without BB's 1st skill her star weight is low. The 12 stars she provides will go to Holmes, and have him spam his NP arts for insane damage. He should be able to loop this attack for a few turns. So you see why this lock skill is so godly? But remember, you receiving the right to command cards, in this case 2 arts within the same turn for Holmes to use, is out of your control. The lock function can also support servants that specializes in some form of resist down debuff. An example would be a servant inflicting Buster resist down. When you can perform a Buster chain between your servants, lock it, and for 3 turns you'll constantly take advantage of the debuff. This also works with Scotty's quick crit buff. It's a way to basically abuse her effects even more. My final thoughts on Summer BB, she's a phenomenal servant, not perfect, but pretty damn close. The lock ability is a freaking powerful skill, but as stated before, there will be inconveniences. Ultimately, no matter how insane a combo you can think of, the deck RNG is something you simply cannot control. There were at times when I received the worst attack combinations for like 5 turns straight. Her NP damage is also quite low, not to mention she'll rarely have class advantage because let's face it, when's the last time you fought an Avenger? Making her a neutral damage dealer. She can farm, but given the option between her and another AoE servant who has class advantage, you'll typically choose the latter, especially on high difficulty nodes. Aside from her class being neutral most of the time, she doesn't really have any weaknesses. She's a self-sufficient NP spamming crit monster. Her skills are almost damn near perfect. When spamming her NP, the chance to reduce 2 charges is amazing to stall enemies. Now, the second charge reduction is very low, but if not 2, even 1 charge reduction is seriously helpful. Now, if you don't have the perfect team comp for her, you can still use her to switch her in, lock the cards, and provide stars for your damage dealer. BB is a servant you'll have to use strategy with, nothing complex or anything, but this isn't a servant where you can just turn your brain off and just tap the screen. I know, we're still recovering from Scotty, but once Summer BB is released, it's a must summon. She's an excellent servant. It may take some trial and error when using her for the first time, but once you understand her playstyle and lock skill, you'll come up with some deadly combos. So, which Summer 3 servant are you most after? I'm of course going after my waifu archer Jeanne d'Arc, but I may sacrifice a good amount of Saint Courts for Summer BB. Special thanks to all my patrons and sponsors. If you want to support my channel, check out my Patreon or channel membership. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Fates content. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join my Discord server. All links are in the description. Have an awesome day, everyone. Till next time.